Hi there, it is Carol C.C. Miller coming to you from Chicago, Illinois. I am the founder of Positive Focus, and I am a positivity trainer and a peace activator, and I love being part of Project Positive Change. So today I am here to discuss how to remain calm in the storm. Now, I live in Chicago, so I'm living in the city, and there's a lot of noise around. There's sirens, there's street traffic, there's honking, there's bicycles, there's all sorts of different sounds going on. And it can be stressful, especially if you're not used to it. So I'm always reminding myself, first of all, I love living in Chicago, so don't get me wrong. But I'm reminding myself that I choose calm, I choose peace, I choose quiet. So wherever you're at, whatever you're going through, it's always a choice in that moment. Now, another thing is I love to sail. Any chance I get, I am out on Lake Michigan sailing, and I volunteer for an organization that teaches people with disabilities how to sail. Yesterday we were out on the water, and it was a grayish day. On to the west side of the boat were ominous, big, billowy, gray rain clouds. And there was some thunder and some lightning, but it was in the distance. We were not in danger. Then when you looked off to the east side of the boat, there was still some clouds, but it was sun as well, and it was a lot calmer looking on that side. So it was just a great vantage point to think about that with a new perspective, even in a storm, we can see it differently. So when we're out we were close to shore yesterday, so even if it did storm, we were in a place to get into safety. And it did rain and we did get wet, but it wasn't a storm per se. But when you're in the middle of the lake and you don't have the opportunity to get out of the storm, what do you do? What do you do in your personal life when you're in a storm, and how do you face it when you don't feel like there's a way to get away from it? So from a sailing perspective, when we're out in the middle of the lake, and if it's really windy and stormy, especially if it's lightning and thundering, because we had this big mast up in the sky that is just the perfect lightning rod. So one thing immediately is you don't touch anything metal. But secondly, what we do is we bring the sails down and we deflate the situation, because the less sail that is in the air, the less impact the wind can have on us. It can't overpower us anymore when we brought the sails down. So in your own life, where can you lessen the impact on what's going on around you? So think of different ways that you can not play into the chaos and not play into the storm. And I'm by no means am I saying it's easy, especially if you're facing some really big challenges. But it is always possible. So that's one thing that we do, is we immediately take the sails down and ride out the storm. Now, if the weather is a little less strong and the wind isn't as strong, we may ride through it. We're still conscious of what's going on around us, and we're focusing all of our attention on staying safe and remaining calm, so we can have the best solutions that we need at that moment. Now, one of the things that I always do when I start stressing out, or I should say when I'm aware that I'm stressing out, is I take some deep breaths. So let's just take a few deep breaths together right now. Take one in and hold it for a couple seconds, and then release it. Let's take another one in, as deep as you can go, and release it. One more. Hold it, and release it. Now, there's a few different reasons that taking deep breaths are important. One, it shifts your attention to what you're focusing on. So that's a big one right there. But even more importantly to me is the fact that often when we're stressed out, we're in a fear situation, we constrict ourselves and we go, kind of fold ourselves in a fearful situation. We're no longer breathing properly. And we need to fill our body with oxygen. We need to provide our brain with the power, with its food, in order to really make the best decisions possible. So that's one of my first things to do, is to really take some deep breaths. Now, again, what you want to do is be alert and aware of your environment. When you're in that situation where the noise or or the stress of your day or your family or whatever is taking you out of peace has a hold of you, assess it. Instead of reacting, I would love to tell you I never overreact to a situation, but I do on occasion. But I do try to be aware of what's going on. Is it truly something that needs my attention right now? Is it truly something that I need to react to right now? And I'm able to look at it, assess it, see what I need to do. Do I need to remove myself from the situation? Do I need to speak up in the situation? Do I need to go within in the situation? And when I'm thinking about it, instead of just immediately blurting out whatever comes to mind, I'm able to assess and deflate what's going on that is got my attention into possible fear reaction. Now, I also want to say fear is not a bad thing. A lot of people kind of talk about don't be fearful. Well, fear sometimes tells you to cross the road, or fear sometimes tells you not to go through that intersection and a car comes barreling through. So there are reasons that fear is very helpful to us. And it's also helpful to us when we allow it to use us to reshift our thinking. When we start having thoughts and words and actions that are fear-based, and it doesn't feel good if you're thinking about it, then that fear allows us to say, hey, this doesn't feel good. What does feel good? And then we can shift it from there. So it's really important to me is to take some deep breaths, be aware of what's going on so you can act on it rather than react to it, and know that you are the one who is in control of the situation. You may not be in control of your outer situation, but you're always in control of your inner situation. And when you're focusing on love, when you're focusing on peace, when you're focusing on calm, then you're actually filtering all those feelings out externally as well. Those external feelings of fear and hatred and sadness that are trying to penetrate you only can penetrate you if you allow them to. When you return the volley, so to speak, with love and compassion and kindness, then you're going to remain in a calmer state regardless. It's easy to be calm and it's easy to be patient when things are going the way you want them to. When you're sitting there on a smooth sailing day and it's beautiful out and the sun is shining, it's really easy to love life then. But how do you go with life when you have those storm clouds? How do you deal with life when it's raining and you don't have a place to take cover from? Well, that's when it's your choice to know that peace lives in you, calm lives in you, and love lives in you. And how I know that is because you matter. You matter to me, you matter in this world, and most importantly, you matter to you. So do what you can do for you to find your calm in your storm. It's possible, it's there. It may be a challenging time that it feels like it's impossible, but I promise you, I promise you, the more you focus on internally assessing the situation, taking some deep breaths to re-energize your body, to give yourself the fuel to make the right decisions and to make loving decisions for you and everyone around you, you're going to realize that you have far more smooth sailing days than you do the stormy ones. And I like big waves and big winds. So it's a different thing regardless. But I hope this few moments of calm helped you. And I hope you enjoy your day. Again, it's Carol C.C. Miller with Positive Focus and Project Positive Change. You go out there and have a calm, peaceful, and loving day. Thank you.